Welcome back to the most professional StarCraft 2 with the best Zerg player from North America, appropriately in the red. We have Scarlett, facing off against a longtime rival, the Terran in the blue. It's special. A best of 5 Terran versus Zerg showdown, part of Team Basilisk Big Brain Bouts, where every Friday night on Roddy's channel, the smartest players get together and show off their next level plays, allowing casters like me to make slightly less next level segues into begging you to smash that like button and maybe even subscribe and help me counter the algorithm. And Jimmy, what are we at? 1,602 likes on this video, on this cast, and I'll cast another one. And I'll probably do it anyways because I don't know what else I'd do with my life. But thank you for watching. Hopefully you've had a good day so far, and hopefully it's about to get just a little bit better than these early drones and langs as the Reaper comes in and pokes and prods and waits for the Queen to come out and disagree strongly with its presence here, because the Reaper rarely brings any of those fun presents, mostly just frustration, irritation, and it gets some scouting information, like the fact that Scarlett doesn't have 3 hatcheries, whereas, of course, Special, one of his many names throughout his career, might as well have been Obscene Greed, as he has 3 command centers on the way. Scarlett with a Roach Warren, and that's not a just-in-case Roach Warren, that's not a maybe I should be careful. That's a, I know you're going 3 command center. You always, before starport, before second barracks, not even thinking about a bunker. It's, well, it could be a Roach all-in. 6 more drones on the way. I think there are some options for just building a handful of roaches and putting the fear of Zerg in the eyes of the Terran. But Scarlett, with 30-something drones, no Zergling speed is usually the tell. Without Zergling speed, it makes it a lot harder to capitalize. Even if you have the roaches, you're probably not going to kill a Terran player who eventually can get a Banshee. But Special's starting to feel a little suspicious, tries to get in, but gets grabbed by the ankles by some Zerglings. Is it going to get... Not sure if it was intentional, but a masterful bait brings the Queens out of position, but good Evo Chamber block from Scarlett. The Hellions lining up the drones, but so far, the losses are minimal, as, yeah, that one Zergling died to the so no losses, which is about as minimal as it gets. A bunker is on the way as Special acknowledges his 3cc build may be vulnerable to a 2-base Roach all-in, but 2 more Hellions coming across. We'll see if he doubles down or calls it a day. And, well, considering it's Special and considering it, yep, all right. Diving in. Some of the drones softened up. Oh, the second drone got in the way of the Evo block. And now lining up some shots. 4 drones dead. Not great, but certainly not terrible. 4 Hellions for 4 drones. But remember, Scarlett did not have a 3rd hatchery. She's actually down just a handful, as I say it. But without that 3rd hatchery early on, Special will have a better economy. 3 command centers, orbital command, and now building double engineering bay and ready to land the 3rd. And Special, wow, so confident. He's just going to go ahead and salvage the bunker. He's like, I need those 75 minerals. Okay, I got a payment to make. I got to make a down payment on like a 5th command center. And I got built. No, Special. I mean, sorry, Obscene Greed. 4th command center is on the way, as Special lands on the 3rd. And now we can finally talk about the geography here of the moon, which is filled with water. I guess it's not specifying which moon, but there is a not quite island base, the gold base to the north, which is blocked by mineral walls, but there's only 10 minerals on a couple of those, so technically easy enough to get to. More like, eventually both players will have access to it. There's also a set of minerals in the middle, and there's a Banshee hanging out, but more importantly, there's an infestation pit on the way. Scarlett does not have Zergling speed. She does not have any evolution chambers. Swarm hosts? You don't just go hive, right? What? A single Zergling will delay the 4th command center. Ridiculous. Double Evo's on the way. Roach speed is done. Oh yeah, you could just build infestors. Infestors have been... Okay, they've been nerfed so many times that I kind of forget. For many years, the build was just build a couple Infestors, because Fungal would hold those units down. It did more damage. Fungal only does 25 damage. I think that's where we landed on it. Which means a Marine with Combat Shield takes 3 Fungals, as long as it doesn't have Medevacs nearby. So, but against someone who does not have Combat Shield and is up against Roach Ravager, yeah, okay, just build... Like, it's so rare. I guess truly big brain. Bringing back one of the oldest strategies. As, yeah, a single fungo could probably shut down a single drop here. With relative ease. I believe the scan spotted the Infestors, to which Special says, okay, I'll back off. But I'm certainly not going to do anything crazy to counter it. He's going to make more Marines, more Marauders, more Medevacs, and more Matanks for his M&M build. As he always does. We'll see if he ever lowers himself to building a Ghost Academy. But Sir Richard and his band of Swarm Host brethren, not accidental like so many singular Swarm Hosts before them, but when they band together, host together strong. And a Nidus is on the way, the first-class chauffeur of the Swarm Host for time immemorial, mostly because they're such a liability in like the 70% of the time when they have no Locust to actually pop out. So Nidus is done, Burrow is on the way, Scarlett is going Roach, Ravager, Infestor, Swarm Host. And Special is significantly less original, but he is a Terran player, so that makes him special. Thus the name. Nidus comes out, Special, he finds it, well the Chew Toy Depot is spotting it. The Swarm Hosts are right there. Clearly the SCVs are ready to evacuate this base. Special's just going to be going forward, as there's no point in going back. Locust dropped down, Hatchery dead on arrival. Scarlett not quite able to take down those rocks. No Hive on the way, very important to note. It is just going to be Roach Ravager and Faster back at home to defend. But Special unsieges all but one tank, one Infestor targeted down, but the Marines just wade through. Fungal will mildly inconvenience some of the Marines as the rest of the Roaches and Ravagers alongside the tanks will blast their way through the front line. The Queens, as always, pulled in to pull it back together, but another wave of Swarm Hosts is lined up to the south of the 9 o'clock base, and Special has not yet really found an answer that isn't run away occasionally, making him look a little bit more like the Terran from that Redstone mission in the Wings of Liberty campaign than someone who has a long-term strategy. But, as a great man once said, everyone has a plan until they get a Nidus worm in the mouth. And that great man was me, and he was very uncomfortable with that statement, and still is. Meanwhile, Roaches and Ravager, Banshee goes in and Banshee goes out. You can't explain that. Hanging out in the middle of the map till a few corrosive biles catch it on the way down, and it goes all the way down to the unit's loss tab. Scarlett's at 200 supply. She's got... Well, the hatchery count finally gets a 4th base up. Special. So who's the Zerg player? Special has out-expanded Scarlett and is just spamming units onto the field, while Scarlett is going for a much more kind of death ball-y unit composition. There's a drop in the bottom right corner just as the 4th base comes up. The problem here is that Scarlett can't outright fight the Bio Army without all the pieces coming together. This isn't a Lego castle. It's a house of cards. And it only takes one well-placed medevac to start blowing it over. The hatchery died to one well-placed medevac. So Scarlett back down to 3 bases, double expanding. Infestor casually strolling through. Hive is finally on the way, but that means Scarlett's still a long way off the 3-3 upgrades, especially since 2-2 just started, as well as any sort of Hive tech. While Special has begun his 3-3, and well, I was about to say anything else, but it's still just Marines, Marauders, tanks, and medevacs, so... No Ghosts, no Ghost Academy, no Fusion Core, not even a single Liberator. Just sticking with the Bio. Meanwhile, Scarlett hasn't added any tech either besides the Hive itself, but Vipers could be an existential threat to Special's army. Really, most armies in general. Meanwhile, them run away! Yeah, come back here, boys! Brenda, don't be weird. What? It's my battle cry. No, it's just weird. It's 2025. How do you know that? Sorry, meanwhile, just brawling it out in the mid lane. Special trying to trade with the Roach Ravager, but Scarlett getting the better end of the engagement. Most of the medevacs get away, and there's a glaring lack of actual anti-air damage. The corrosive biles are occasionally clipping some of the medevacs, but overall, well, how many medevacs? 10 medevacs so far, and counting. A Special kind of on autopilot there. Somewhat puns intended. The income is almost dead even throughout all this, but Scarlett has lost 2,000 less resources so far. And with an Infestor Ravager, well, this is awkward. This angle, Scarlett hasn't even mined out the mineral wall, which means no easy way to go down there. Somebody mined out the center of the map. I think it was Scarlett, but Locust dropped down at the 9 o'clock. 9 SCVs dead instantaneously. Nidus in the main and a couple Marines were standing right there. But apparently too blind to see it. Might be able to take it out. The Swarm hosts are on cooldown. I don't think there are any Roaches in the Nidus. Special hitting to the north. Fighting to the south. He's taking wins on both sides. The Ravagers come around and they'll expect one of us in the wreckage, brother. He drops on the other side of the mineral wall, but here come the Queens, here come the Infestors. The Zerg army is collapsing on the bio, but the damage is already done, and at the same time, Special is sprinting to the bottom right corner with a bunch of bio that's going faster than the medevacs. How do you run faster than a flying unit with afterburners? And the answer, as always, is a lot of drugs. Meanwhile, the hatchery will be saved by the Roach Ravager. One of the medevacs split off for scouting, distraction, or because he felt like it. Either way, Hydra is dead for Scarlett. Concussive shells just started for Special? Oh no. That is a medium-sized mistake right there. Not catching a few extra units each time certainly doesn't help, but I don't think it's the major difference so far, but everything seems to count as they continue brawling it out. Special, the closer he gets to 200 supply, the better. As Scarlett's army is reliant on those Swarm hosts. She has 30 supply right now invested in Swarm hosts, which means that army supply is a bit misleading. And Special already has the better upgrades. Fungals down the center. Sure, here we go. Ravagers throwing up the corrosive bile. Raining down. Doesn't quite get the double kill on the tanks. Infestors going to melt through some Marauders with corrosive bile. Concussive is done, as evidenced by that other Marauder catching the Infestor. Almost everyone dies at the end. No spoilers. Nidus in the bottom left corner. Queen brawling it out over the top. Brenda! Oh no, that was just Karen. It's fine. Meanwhile, more Queens coming down to defend. The bio backs off as they defend their territory. A 2-tank timing attack, or maybe just the survivors of the previous one. A Changeling tries to convince some of the Marines that diplomacy might work. The Marines, unconvinced, take more drugs. Meanwhile, a whole bunch of medevacs and a scattering of other units involved in this attack will be able to rain down a righteous fury upon the hatchery. But will that be enough damage to actually turn it around? Some of the medevacs from a previous drop will be taken out by the Queens. Another set of corrosive biles gonna gun down a tank. Another tank abandoned by the bio. Meanwhile, Locust at the 9 o'clock base again. 8 drones, 2 SCVs dead. Bio stims down to defend yet again. The Queens brawling out with the bio. 187 to 169 supply. Scarlett holds on to the center base and the one to the slight north. But at what cost? Actually, it was fine. Scarlett has lost several thousand less resources. Special has lost 100. Who's the Zerg player? Finally mined through the mineral wall. The Infestor's getting all jimmy jammed up in behind everything here, as this army is much like your mother, known for its girth. Meanwhile, the Marauder is caught. Tell the rest of your friends what happened here. And meanwhile, another triple drop comes in. The hatchery will be finally sniped off, finishing what the other attack started. Picks up the medevacs. Hydra lunge is on the way. Lurker range. No lurkers yet. Looks like another medevac got taken out. The double drop to the bottom right corner. Swarm host pop up again. Picks off a couple. Fungal on the medevacs. Corrosive bile rains down and wipes half of them out of the sky. And suddenly this fight turns on its head. Terrible, terrible damage for both sides. Double drop in the bottom right corner, but there is enough Roach Ravager in order to defend. Another corrosive bile boosts away. That was just offensive. Meanwhile, Liberator attempted, just kind of flies past the entire fight. The Marauders chunking it up, 3-3 on either side. The Liberators decide they don't want to participate in the group activity, which seems kind of on brand, to be honest. Okay, all right. Wow, it's been a while since I saw some true North American StarCraft. And while it might not be a good game, it's certainly a great one. As these two are just brawling throughout the entirety of the map. It is still unclear. Scarlett with the supply lead decides let's play fair. Move commands like 15 Hydras. And just like that, oh no! A huge mistake. Not medium, huge. Of these, I think almost all the 16 Hydra losses were right there. And suddenly Special is dead even on supply. And the army supply is a meaningful difference as well. But targets the hatchery. Hydra Lunge is done. And Special loses every single one of those medevacs as well. And just like that, Scarlett pops right back up 40 supply. Meanwhile, Marines gun down another Queen. On the other side of the concave of the mineral line, a couple Vipers up above. The Marines looking for a good angle, and so far Scarlett acutely aware of it. More Infestors in production. Nidus Worm now outside the northern base. I believe there's still 7 Swarm hosts. 3 casualties so far, but Scarlett has solidified something of a lead. The Swarm host laying down another round of Locusts. The Bio will chew through it, but the Hydras lunge forward. And pin cushioning, well, this, I feel like I've seen more actual fights than almost, I'm so used to Clem versus Cyril, where fights are decided almost before they start. These are fights, okay? They are not strategic planning. This is a brawl, and I'm certainly here for it, and very glad about it. Meanwhile, another brawl in the center of the map. Nidus somewhere, but there's a Nidus in the center. Fungal thrown out, couple siege tanks involved, a few more providing moral support from the back. More Marines coming down, parasitic bomb over the top. Down goes none Vipers. Some Swarm hosts. One Swarm host tried to hide under the lip of the cliff there. Down goes the Nidus Worm. Locust gonna get a couple. Oh, what a save on the siege tank. Drops it over to the other side. And the Bio army, wait a second. Scarlett, where's your army? 28 Hydras in the mail, but they haven't yet been delivered. And more Hydras lunging into the fray. The medevacs are keeping most of this intact. The tanks remember how to siege. And Scarlett, right now, Special driving through to the heart of the swarm. The army has crumbled, the momentum has shifted, and the Terran army is tearing through. He takes out the base. Scarlett trying to bring it all together. Yanks, well, I guess I meant literally. Yanks a couple tanks into the Hydras. Another wave of Locusts comes out. And Scarlett looks like she's going to stabilize. Spire pops up in the midst of everything. Knocks out one of the Vipers. Hydras lunge forward. Gets 2 of the medevacs. And another one of the siege tanks. And the siege line will be broken. And Scarlett surges across the map. And I have to say, Scarlett has used the Hydra lunge, the new ability, better than anyone I've seen, including Cyril. The amount of value she's gained and actual control over those units. Mostly, Hydra lunge looks like, some sort of drunken lurch that results in corrosive bile most of the time. But she's actually making it look somewhat graceful, which is an impressive feat considering it is like a half-second slither forward. But, and there we go. A nice little stutter step will pick off another half-dozen bio units and get the medevacs boosting the other direction. And Special has thrown 244 Marines into the fray. And there's more where that came from. The bio units are attacking the plateau from the low ground. Somehow. Now they're running all the way. They just decided to go all the way by. There they go again. And deja vu, we've just been in this base before. Locust at the 9 o'clock, forcing it to lift. And oh yeah, remember Lurkers? Didn't she get Lurker Rage? Yes, Lurker Rage is done. Zergling speed isn't, as the Zerglings are added back into the fray. Scarlett clearly noticing that at this moment. But the Lurkers may very well be a help here. Another brawl. A couple tanks caught out. So many tanks have died as well. Sure, fight over here too. Infestors thrown in, but the Lurkers will finally burrow down and slice through any contenders outside that center base. But Special is now mining from the gold. Infestors down the center. Scarlett has had a minor income lead. I'm talking a couple hundred minerals maybe throughout most of this. And a couple hundred. She's actually got 500 more gas per minute. Not that Special's army is very gas dependent at this point. He's running on pure anger and minerals right now. We call that stim pack. Meanwhile, lunges forward. 2, 3, get over here. Knocks another one out of the sky. Oh, baby, a triple. And 3, Medivacs dead as Scarlett. I want to say she's ahead, but I'm not willing to commit to that. Are we? Wait. Hold. Are we going to see Ricky? Are we going to see simultaneously Sir Richard and his band of intentional swarm host brethren and Ricky, the accidental swarm host, in the same game? Because right now there's one swarm host in production, which makes no sense except for misclicking the A key. Just as another group of bio gets eviscerated by Scarlett's Lurkers down the center. Calm down. All right, we have a moment to like and subscribe, but also take stock of the situation. And right now, Scarlett's stock is certainly going up. We see 2,100, the first real income advantage throughout the entire game. Scarlett has secured finally 3 bases mining. The Lurkers, who would have thought? The Lurkers holding it down and allowing her to actually reliably mine. Special tries a plateau push from the low to the high ground. The Hydras lunge forward. Aren't quite enough. Wait. Aren't quite enough to pick off the Medivacs. Special may have one more opportunity to turn this around. But the swarm... Wait. Did the accidental swarm host get added in? Wait, there are only 2 swarm hosts. I don't even know anymore. That is... Was there one survivor and then another one? Was it? This is one of those stories that I wish we could explore further, but the game must go on. The Lurkers, the turrets out in front will allow Special to see the Lurkers, but can he kill them? Much harder. Meanwhile, Scarlett, this Lurker push, there's no ghosts, there's no liberators. And without him, it's almost impossible to break the Lurkers. Tanks are good, but she yanks in 1, make that 2. And 3. Yes, I'm great at counting. 11 SCV is dead. Special brawling over the gold base, somehow holding for now. Another Medivac just flies through from stage right or left. I don't really know how that works. 18 more Hydras on the way. Special splits, he stims, he dives. Down 100 supply. He breaks through half the Lurkers, but the other half are more than enough. And there's no more... The 2 swarm hosts. Yeah, we don't like your kind around here. This one. The Locust on the way. Lurker's gonna deny the base. That has to be it, right? Blinding Cloud on the unsiege tanks. G! Scarlett! After 25 of the most hectic 100,000 resources lost in 25 minutes. One of the most North American games of StarCraft 2 in the history of it. 38 Medivacs, 360 Marines. 91 Hydras. Scarlett will take game 1. Wow. That was certainly a whole lot of something. It's been far too long. I'm tired of these silly chess matches between Clem and Cyril, or these fencing matches between Clem and Max Pax. Just give me a drunken brawl between Scarlett and Special any day of the week that ends in Y. And don't ask me why. Just ask me what map Game 2 is on. Good question. It's going to be ley lines. Tell me why. Special with his customary commitment to a tunnel vision strategy. Ironically, against Scarlett's tunnel vision strategy through the Nidus worms and the burrowed infestors and lurkers. Certainly some big brains at play, but maybe somewhat smooth as well. I love the addition of upgrades that probably should have been added 5. That was what StarCraft's all about. All right. Chaos. Chaos is a ladder. All right. The ladder is chaos. Something profound. 2 Rax Reaper will be the choice out of Special. Going to get a little more aggressive here on a more well-known map. Okay. All right. I don't know how we're going to follow that one up, but very carefully, or... No, probably not. Probably not that. Unlikely. Two Rax Reaper. I want to know what Scarlett's thought process was, if there was. Was it... Were the roaches always intended? I want to say the roaches were intended to be macro roaches from the start. Like the 2 or 3 roaches, just, you have to... Here we go. Well, we get an opportunity to find out. That's a 2-minute roach for it. Okay, that's even... That is obscenely quick. I have no strategic commentary on that. We'll just see what happens. This will certainly match the Reapers. So, and Special's on the wrong side of the map for the Reaper add-ons. The right side of the map is the right one, because add-ons are always on the right side of the barracks. So if Special wants to build them, they're going to be in a vulnerable location to potential roach pressure. So the Queen's Brenda bounced around. He walled off with the... Get off my Queen! Brenda. Okay. You'll have your revenge. Yes, I will. Sorry, blacked out for a moment. Now, concussive shells will not be forgotten in this game. The first thing, with a Marauder in production as well, a bunker on the... Are we going to do an outside bunker? Yes, an outdoor bunker. To try to defend the add-ons before the Reapers get there. But I feel like this bunker is a few seconds late. Well, okay, never mind. That's just Zerglings. My feelings don't care in the face of the facts. And the facts are that roaches are not very fast. Ravagers are faster, but they take some time to evolve into their greatest power level, which is essentially puking into the air as violently as possible and hoping it lands somewhere in the vicinity of their enemies. Oh no, the concussive shells break the many weak knees of the Ravager! And we'll chase it down in another... Now, the unit count might be smaller, but the vibes are exactly the same. As again, a melee brawl between the roaches and the marauders. A cyclone is on the way. I say that's all I had for that. Builds a 3rd base on location. Stim, it's gonna be by. Of course, of course. Meanwhile, a lair from Scarlett, but she's getting double Evo. But no Zergling speed. So it's gotta be roaches. The cyclone gonna terrorize the countryside here. Gonna deny the creep tumors. The professional oncologist cyclone. Call me Dr. Clone. No. Your loss. All right, so roaches it is. Double engineering bay now for special as well. Roach speed. Now, looking out for that infestation pit. I'm just waiting to, like, usually you'd put some filler analytical commentary here, talk about the map, talk about the matchup, whatever. I'm just waiting. Because it's impossible. Well, I can predict what special is going to do. It's almost painfully predictable. Right, we know. It's going to be Marines. It's going to be Medevacs. It's going to be Marauders. It's going to be Metanks. But Scarlett has an infestation pit on the way. This one is a bit differently timed. She's got 69 drones, which is a very nice baseline economy. Especially considering specials only have 48 SCVs. Dr. Clone! See? No! We'll get away. Meanwhile, the double drop. A few Marauders sprinkled in there from earlier. They got the battle experience. All right. Our work here is done. Intimidation complete. Yep. Baited out the roaches. And indeed, special succeeded in drawing out some extra units. Going to work around towards a potential fourth base. Diving in. Goes for the queen. And spitefully takes her out, but picks up immediately after. Infestor's on the way. Is this the return of Infestor Roach? Now, with no disrespect to Special. Okay, a little. You know what? Let's start a little beef there, but Special ain't clown. Okay, Infestors are great, but they're more for cleaning up messes than... and Special looking like a hot mess right now. Just got cleaned up by Scarlett. Fungal holds him down. Corrosive Bile knocks him out. Medevac as well. And now a 50 supply lead as Scarlett heads towards roaches with burrow and burrow move. Hot damn. Well, that is certainly less than ideal for Special, who... I mean, map control is gone. Oh, Fungal! Thrown out yet again. Corrosive Biles. Don't quite get the prediction this time, but the Infestor is already paying dividends. Scarlett much... Well, last game was also a story of Scarlett just taking control of the situation and not quite being able to finish Special off for quite a while. This time around, though, it feels different. This time it feels like Scarlett will easily have 4, 5, 6 bases, and Special's not going to be able to deal with it. Like, Special will be stuck on 3 bases for the foreseeable future, assuming Scarlett doesn't just attack into a bunch of siege tanks in an entrenched position. No, tried to save one. Don't do it. Oh no. Okay. She's thinking about it. Hive is on the way. Zergling speed as well. Concerningly, not a Hydralisk den. Burrow move is done, but that seems like... I don't think Burrow move's gonna be a big part of the fight for a while yet. Special will see it as well. The fancy little glowing horns on top of them. That's what Zerglings with adrenal glands need, so Shin will stop forgetting the upgrade, but... The Medevacs will pick up pretty much all the Marines they can carry and head out while Scarlett is still knocking on the door. I believe the roaches spotted this. Almost killing a command center with corrosive bile machine gunned out. A Nidus network is on the way. Vipers in production. But the Doom drop with 40 plus supply here just traps out a few Marines. Rare you see it, but why not? Well, mostly because it's going to be cleaned up with these. I have like 3 roaches. What? Another group of Marines and Marauders just sprinting in. And here we go again. 17 drones dead. Targeting the Nidus. But what a... Oh my god. No, no, it's not worth it. Don't do it. Another medevac taken down. The Nidus lives. What a save. But the hatchery dies. 23 drones. Scarlett with most of her units in the main base. I don't really think the Nidus network is a worthy target, but 29 drones certainly are. That's an Ultralisk cavern right there, by the way. Parasitic bomb doing huge damage. Picks up into the other medevac. Stop right there. Corrosive bile. Oh, completely wiped out of the sky. The surviving medevac, I believe, flew into a spore crawler or something somewhere. Either way, Special is wiped off the map. Scarlett plummets to a 9-drone lead after losing 30 of them. She replaced them before I could finish my statement. And now here we are, with Scarlett of 50 supply, an Ultralisk cavern is completed, adrenal glands on the way, chitin is plating in the mail as well. The infestors are caught though, spotted by Special. All 4 of them going to be taken out by the random group of bio that was totally intentionally there. And it's a somewhat similar situation to last game, where Special is in a tough spot with enough good units that he could not luck, but find himself in a winning position if Scarlett overcommits. Like, say, sending a bunch of Ravagers into a concave of siege tanks with no support. But now there are Vipers. Now there's Ultras. How many There's still 3 infestors somewhere. Gonna spread out the siege tanks. Yanks in one. The turret almost took out the Viper. Ultra gonna be taking a lot of the damage. Turret is taken out. Ghosts on the way. Queen's gunned down. Underground, it doesn't matter. Oh, Fungal, a little late. Was that an SCV? Woo, overtime! Meanwhile, Parasitic Bomb on pretty much all the medevacs. Some Fungal thrown out as well. A wide array of disease-ridden spellcasting. As Special sets up for the double siege, despite Scarlett softening up many of the units and knocking down many of the medevacs, Special has 195 supply, 124 in army. He's gonna have 3-3. There's a bunch of siege tanks and liberators overhead, and this is an incredibly tough army to beat. The Scarlett, she does have Baneling speed. Melee attack level 1 is not awe-inspiring. Carapace level 3 isn't quite done yet. Ultralisk speed is nearly there. But Special has a very strong attack coming down the center of the map. Scarlett's making her Spire great again, but I don't... Broodlord's not exactly the ideal in this scenario, unless she can get an overwhelming number of them. Ultralisk presenting quite a massive target. Another Nidus from one of the burrowed roaches, but here comes Scarlett. Yanks in the Liberator. Ultra's leading the charge. 3-4 siege tanks blinded at the start of the fight. Will be cleaved through. Misses a wave of corrosive bile, though, and the Liberators, with a Venn diagram of freedom, will be able to strike back. Scarlett replaces it with 8 Ultralisks. Are you insane? Meanwhile, another Liberator yanked out. A line of a chiropractor's office of spine crawlers lined up over to the right flank. More Marauders cutting through. Medevac picks up some of them. The rest are just going to have to fend for themselves. 10 Ultras in production. Get up, nice creep. Down goes a full Medevac. Scarlett with money in the bank, and she's willing to spend it. 10 Ultralisks in production. And now they're being delivered, popping out of those weirdly small eggs. I don't know how that biological process works, but the corrosive biles have been on point. Another wave. This is quite a kerfuffle for Special here. A wave of ultras. But it's just the ultras, and with no coverage, the sheer amount of marauders and siege tanks might be enough to turn it around. What's in there? Oh, Zerg. Meanwhile, siege. What? The ultras walking by the siege tanks. Decide, you know, maybe we should put a little more effort into it. Yanks down a tank, which helped. Another one. That one's better. Yep. Now the Bio Army making another dive in towards the north side. Hatchery will be targeted again. Well, only 2 hatchery snipes so far. Is that Ultra carrying the corpse of the Ravager on its way across? Quite a hardcore move there. Another Nidus in the back left corner. But some of the bio still in the main from earlier. Scarlett with plenty of money in the bank. There are 8 ultras on the field. Some snipes lined up, but don't quite connect. The bio army, where are the infestors? They've been sent to the units lost tab, but the bio... Wait, where? The banelings are going the other way. The bio army, blinding cloud right into the claws of the ultras. A lot of them going to be taken down, but many of them not quickly enough. More ultras by the planetary. They're thinning out rather quickly, but Special has lost 20 SCVs. The Marines micro back. The banelings roll in. More SCVs will be slaughtered. Somehow the planetary holds, and Special still has... it's not good. It's not good. 8 more ultras on the way. Well, quantity has a quality all its own. And, 186 to 110 supply. Another hatchery goes down. That one feels almost incidental. It would take more than a miracle here for Special to turn it around. Well, a minor miracle is killing 2 full energy Vipers and a hatchery. I'll take that. That's a freebie. Is this 2 game? Special has managed to lose more resources still throughout this match, though it's a close thing. 2 of the Marines, once again. The Zerg witnesses there, arguing for letting Nidus Worms into your community. Ultra. But the infestors! EMP! There's enough infestors and ultras, though. And 8 corruptors on the way. Another Nidus attempted. That one was within the minimum range of the siege tank. Ultras just chewing through. Ghost lighting up the sides. You couldn't get a much more strict choke point back there, but the fungals and the ultras will cleave through the rest. Oh my. Butchery on either side. But Special does not have the reinforcements to deal with this. 13 SCVs dead. 99 to 200 supply. Scarlett might not have much in the bank, but Special doesn't have any at all. Gonna send once again a desperate attack to the north. But more ultras in production. Infestors following him up. There's just not enough left over. The ultras. Oh. Fungal thrown out in Special. Hard fought, but the corruptors are here to wipe out the medevacs. There's just too much biomass in the way. And the Terrans will be cleared out. Scarlett takes 2 in a row. Wow. Another hectic game, but Scarlett, maintaining the momentum is special, admitting that ghosts are a pretty good skill to have, but not quite enough of them in time to break Scarlett's momentum. And that puts her on match point. Going into Talisman. Oh, okay. I thought we were going to see multiple SCVs sent out across the map early, which wouldn't be too surprised about that. This map has a worker-only path, which has some interesting implications when it comes to early game strategies as well. As Scarlett already demonstrating, going to be taking the base on the low ground instead of the natural. Also has, oh, even has a little counter, 65 minerals on the mineral wall there, which enough. I think that's like 3 mule trips is why it's that particular number, but I'm not here to do math. Just count on that. Now that we got a single moment to breathe, I'd like to thank Team Basilisk again and their greatest asset. No, not Cyril, Roddy. Rotterdam. They named a city after him. That's how famous he is. But for sending the games and helping to put on these matches. Not always with these top-of-the-line players, but also some up-and-coming players. Some of the players that hopefully you'll be seeing more of in the future. So make sure to check it out. If you're not a vampire like me, you'll probably be able to see it live on Friday nights. Almost every Friday night. So the link in the description. Jimmy! And you can find some of the highlights on Team Basilisk YouTube as well. If interested. So, thank you again to both and all. And I hope you enjoy it. And maybe even like and subscribe if you do. These are certainly some of the most fun games I've seen in at least a little while. I think if you made it this far to this filler content / sellout / appreciation segment, you would agree. Or you fell asleep. Either way. Wake up! Game 3! A few Reapers on the way. This map a little bit safer to go for the Reaper build early. Mineral wall in mind. I think, yeah, already mined through. The Queen sauntering down. All right, well, that's rude. The combined rocks being taken down. I don't think you can... It's very bright, but you can't actually attack the Zerglings from that angle. And Evo chamber block stopped before it could start. This is a message from the Hatchery Owners Association. My name is Brenda, and respectfully, for all Zergs, we'd like to formally ask you, Terrans, to fuck off. All right? Brenda, you're gonna get us demonetized again. No, it's not in the first few... Oh my god! She got demonetized. Wow, they've really upped the restrictions. Oh. Sorry, I blacked out for a moment, but... Roach Warren on the way. The latest Roach Warren so far, and maybe regretting it, Scarlett, against these early Reapers. So far, special, playing a perfect game. Not lost a single Reaper, and they heal faster than any Zerg can without transfuse. Going around again. Bounces the Queens to the side. There's no way... Well, I guess you can... Oh, that works. Citizen's arrest attempted. Still, all the Reapers in tech. The lair is done. Another Evo chamber block. One Reaper targeted finally. Oh! And moves into the mineral line. The drones get a few nibbles off. Another weird bounce with the grenades, but... Oh, this is infuriating, but... 4 drones dead. Road speed is on the way. Scarlett not suffering dramatic losses, but she is on 2 bases. 2 specials, soon to be 3, and has 3 command centers with orbitals done, so Scarlett doing the trickle-down bases here. Both of these mixed gold and blue bases, giving a little bit of extra mineral income for less workers, so it wasn't a devastating loss, but it was certainly annoying. Thing about the Reapers is they slow down the rest. Ooh, that was a crazy creep tomb right there. They slow down the next stage of your strategy pretty dramatically. And that means Special just started Stim. Just now getting the engineering base. And while he might have a decent amount of SCVs and a solid defense, he's not going to have the infrastructure to really be moving out for quite a while. Starport just began. Marine like, guys, let me in. Let me, oh my god, let me. No. That's gonna be a no. One on the way for either side. It's gonna be a burrow move rush out of Scarlett. So far, Scarlett getting so much mileage out of the alternative. This is truly the big brain Bouts. Well, at least Scarlett being rewarded for it. With Swarm Hosts, Infestors, Burrow Move Roaches. Special, on the other hand, is doing the level of innovation that every Terran strives for, which is innovations, which is doing the exact same build, or similar to it, every single game, the entire series, with very little deviation. So, that's also a choice. Alright, not all of us can be Gumiho. In fact, almost none are. I would say Gumi Bro, possibly the only Terran who really innovates as opposed to iterates. Alright. Roaches working on the 3rd base. Marines. But where did they go? Will we notice the roach sign? Quite hard to see on this map. Will she wait for Special to mine through? Oh, the bigliest brain! Meanwhile, the Roach Ravager gonna wait for the minerals to mine through and then get into the main. I mean, maybe just pop up now. No. Wait for it. She knows. She can see the mineral count from underground. Don't ask how. I mean, you can just click on it, but you know, like, biological. And now, thank you. Dun 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 dun. Da-da-da! The roaches in the main and the roaches at the 3rd. They're inside the house, truly living up to their names. And Special is scrambling. He's got a double drop on the other side, but the roaches take out the tank, clear out the 3rd. Double drop, there's nothing back at home to defend. Scarlett, I think, was supply blocked. Has nothing in production. This is a hectic base trade. The Roach Horde itself is going to be targeted. No more roaches, and Scarlett has no other tech. I guess Swarm Hosts and Infestors. Okay, I guess that's pretty good still. But the Roaches and Ravagers knocking on the door. The main base was cleared up. Special is supply blocked. Scarlett can't build roaches anymore, but by the time she needs to, the 2nd Roach one will be rebuilt. 12 SCVs and coming around for another pass. Sliding through into the main from the conveniently placed ramp. Special did some damage in the main, but Scarlett, I think, has done a lot more. Though the Roach Ravager is getting overrun. Special wades through, loses 1 Marauder. The army supply is still very dangerous. The Roach is back in the main base. As Special still has a double drop. The Marines and Marauders in autumn colors here with the amount of stims they're doing, but another hatchery sniped off by the firepower of the Terrans. And back at the main base, there's almost nothing back at home to defend. Yet again, the main base is going to be cleaned out. A dozen drones dead, a couple roaches in the 3rd. But the drops, more drops than a Skrillex album here. And the base is... Well, eventually Scarlett should be able to clean this up. And Special's still dealing with problems on his side of the map. Finally, the roaches are cleared up, but again, Scarlett up 50 supply with Roach Ravager and has some infestors to help lock things down. +2 infantry. So Special has incredible upgrades with almost no army. Scarlett's upgrades are mediocre with plenty of army. Special with 7 medevacs. It's just 45 roaches. Couple ravagers, couple infestors. But that could very well be enough. Is there even a missile turret? No. Feels like a bit of negligence not to... There's a missile turret on the low ground here. Another drop comes in. One queen assassinated. Another saved underground. Scan comes out. Eventually taken down. The roaches scramble back home to defend. Maybe a bit of an overreaction out of Scarlett. Two out of 3 infestors dead. Another one forced to throw out the fungal. Special has again built up quite a bio ball. Fusillade of corrosive bouts sent. Not again. The roaches scurry by underneath into the main. A lot of the Ravagers. Oh, but Scarlett. Special distracted by roaches in his main, which, to be fair, you know, that's worthy of panic. Seeing roaches at every base at once. 9, 10 SCVs dead. Special plummeting in supply yet again. And Scarlett keeps losing battles, but Special is losing the war. Concussive shell just finished. Oh, he forgot it again. 18 SCVs dead. Scarlett with a hive on the way. She's actually on 5 bases of mining, which is a massive income advantage now. It's all coming together. Special simply doesn't have the economy to rebuild, even with mules to kind of bootstrap back into it. I don't think it's going to be enough. I drop loaded up. We don't mind taking out fungal, and the corrosive biles rain down. The supply plummets, and Scarlett just picks the fight. There's nothing left to defend. 100 supply ahead. The reinforcements come back home, but it's not enough. Scarlett will take it. 3-0. Truly a big brain experience. 3 of the most hectic games of StarCraft 2 I've seen in at least the recent past, if not ever. But Scarlett, it's been a little while since we've seen her play. But absence makes the brain grow fonder. Or something profound like that. What a series. Ends up being a little more one-sided than a Mobius strip, but certainly the games were not. Thank you again for the team Basilisk and Big Brain Bouts Roddy for putting on these matches and allowing us to experience them. And I hope it made your day in one way or another a little bit better. Thank you for watching. If you got the means of motivation, it'd be awesome to check out Patreon or YouTube membership. But your liking and subscribing is still free, at least for now. But thank you to our mule tier patrons bringing in the minerals, Big Jiggy Door, Mario, Random Guy in chat, and Suit. Glad you still enjoy. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Good luck. Have fun. Make sure autoplay is on the right video. Stay chill.
Hell, it's about